development of a new drug for the central nervous system costs more than $1 billion and lasts several years. The sooner pharmaceutical and biotech companies do some pertinent assays, the sooner the research process is consolidated. A company called Neuroservice is making a name for itself with some very informative testing and with its expertise for the drug discovery, focusing in the central nervous system. Joining us to explain is Bruno Buisson, General Manager, Founder, and Chief Scientist of Neuroservice. Thanks for joining us today, Bruno.
Thanks for this opportunity.
Bruno, why focus your studies on the central nervous system, which is also known as the CNS?
The central nervous system is by far the most complex system. The understanding of the CNS physiology and pathophysiology is a very long trail. However, the need for CNS drug is very real. The market of drug discovery is huge and increasing. The need for informative and reliable industrial tests dedicated to CNS is strong. Electrophysiological techniques are very suitable and sensitive technique to investigate the effect of compound on brain tissues. It's like a super sensitive electroencephalogram. It allows recording the electrical activity of neuronal networks or single neurons thanks to direct recording inside the brain tissue.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about Neuroservice itself and how your company began.
I graduated a PhD in biochemistry, neuropharmacology, and electrophysiology. I worked for 10 years in academic laboratories and then moved to a small biotech company developing CNS drugs. I used electrophysiological-based tests for molecule selection, and it was really successful. However, at that time, I observed that no company was proposing standardized tests in electrophysiology for the CNS. Then the idea to start such a company came very quickly, and we launched the company 4 years ago.
Bruno, what is the Neuroservice concept?
Neuroservice is a contract research organization. Neuroservice is a merging concept between very strong scientific expertise, industrial processes, together with very professional communication and marketing approaches.
And you mentioned electrophysiological techniques. Exactly what services does Neuroservice perform?
Neuroservice proposes in vitro standardized and customized tests to document the effect of compound on living brain slices. In addition, this test allows characterizing transgenic mice deficit very quickly.
And this is electrical activity in the brain, in the heart, electrical activity where?
We are only focused on the brain electrical activity.
Very interesting. And your customers, Bruno, who are your customers?
Big pharmaceutical and biotech companies, of which 50% are in North America, 35% in Europe, and 15% in Asia.
Bruno, what would you say are the benefits to the customers of using Neuroservice?
Robust and informative data, time and cost savings, and flexibility.
Why don't these big companies, the big pharmaceutical companies and big biotech companies, do this testing themselves?
They have in-house capabilities to do this test, but most of the time they need mass production of data, so they have not the capacities to produce big quantities of data in short delays. And this is the role and the business of Neuroservice to do that.
And I would imagine it helps to have an independent lab also looking at your work.
Of course, for them, this is also a guarantee of the independence, and we have no implication in their programs.
What about you? What about your business objectives?
Neuroservice is presently the world-leading company in its area. We aim at being the main partner of big pharmas and biotech, making CNS drug discovery researchers. In addition, we want to address new markets such as toxicology, agrochemistry, and cosmetics.
So Bruno, tell me what it is you're looking for with the neurophysiological response then. What kind of tests are you doing?
With the electrophysiological techniques, we are able to record very refined electrical responses of neurons, and by the eye of the experts, we are able to determine if the compound has a positive or negative effect on the overall behavior of the neurons.
And this is activity in the brain, correct?
Yes, this is an electrical activity in the brain that could be compared to the electrical activity of the heart.
And when you see certain readings with the little blips on the screen, what does that tell you then?
Sometimes it could be very bad news for the companies because the compound could completely disrupt the activity of the neuron. So at this time, there is no future for these compounds.
And has that happened to you when you've tested a drug?
Sometimes, yes, we encounter compounds that are really toxic for the neuron function, and we just aware the customers about this very toxic activity.
And what about the other response then? When you find that that level is okay, then you proceed to do more in-depth testing?
Yes, sometimes we focus on very particular and custom design tests that allow to document also some positive effect of compounds on some, for example, synaptic transmission or synaptic plasticity mechanisms.
And these types of drugs are aimed at helping what kinds of conditions, generally?
We are working with pharmaceutical companies on different types of programs, for example, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, Huntington disease, and of course all neurological disorders and pain.
Look through your crystal ball. In about 5 years, what do you think Neuroservice will look like then?
Neuroservice will have an enlarged catalog of tests. As an example, we are releasing new in vitro tests for pain, and we will offer new tests for Alzheimer's disease by the end of the year. Our presence will increase in North America, Europe, and Asia. In addition, Neuroservice is and will be a very profitable business with a real creation of economical values.
Well, it is clear that this type of extremely high-quality testing will only be more and more in demand. So thank you very much for sharing it with us, Bruno.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.